Okay, we're going to have a look at a great 90s band called the Seahorses with John Squire, who was in the Stone Roses. It's the band he formed after the Stone Roses broke up. It's a song called Love Is The Law. It's their biggest hit, and it's quite a nice opening riff. It sounds quite technical, but when we slow it down, you'll understand. It is quite nice and easy to play. So it's capo on the 2nd fret. Now we want to be calling this 0. So if I said fret 3, you would be here. And I know if the capo was off, that'd be fret 5, but this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just to clarify that. Okay, so I'll play it to you a few times so you can hear it. It's nice to hear it without distortion because you can actually hear the notes. So. Okay, I'm going to do it slow. Alright, so let's dive straight into the tab music. Oops, not that. That's what I'm recording on. Okay, so here's how it looks. This is the first bit. I'm going to just zone in on the first 3 notes. So you can see it's on the 4th string, so count 4 strings up. And it goes 5, 4, 0, and they're pull off, pull off. So I'm going to explain what that means. So what I want you to do is get your fingers on the 5th and 4th. So counting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I know it looks like the 7th and 6th, but because of the capo, remember. So the first little move is to play the 5th and pull it off to this 4th. Because when it says pull off, it doesn't always mean to a 0. You can pull off to any other note. So you don't want to be putting that down on after it because it'll cut it off. You've got to have both fingers down, play the 5 and pull off to the 4. So just keep doing that till you can get a noise. You don't want it just to lift off. You've got to pluck it. And from here, you've got to pluck off to the 0. So you're plucking it there with this finger. Not a lift off. See, that makes no noise. It's got to be a pluck. So this is probably the hardest bit of the riff, the opening thing, if you're just new to playing riffs. So now, if you notice, I was playing the whole riff on the 2nd and 3rd fret. I was playing with these 2 fingers. So this start bit I do with my little finger, so the 4th and 3rd finger, and I go. But I understand if you're not used to having strength in these fingers, unless you've done little exercises like this for years to give your little finger enough strength as these fingers. That's the best way to keep these fingers here. But if not, just use your 1st and 2nd finger. You can get there quick enough. Okay, so that's probably the hardest little bit of it. So let's just motor through it now. So then you've got on the 5th string, you've got 0, 3 hammer. So play the 0, hammer that. I'll just show you a hammer. So you're playing the 5th string and you hammer on with this finger. So you don't go because it's not as smooth as, and you don't want to just press on it because it cuts it off. You've got to hammer it. It's in the name. Okay. So the next little bit, you play this 2 on the 3rd string and then 0 on the 5th string. So I've got a little tip. See this 0, 3? When you're playing the 0, 3, I want you to have this finger on there ready. So when you've done this, first thing to do is put the finger on here ready, and then you do 0, 3, and then you're ready to hit that. Because what you don't want is a delay and it sounding cut off. So get your finger there, 0, 3, and then take that. And what you've got is you've got that ringing out over the 0, and you got this ringing out over here, so it sounds really ringy over each other rather than individual, like sound a bit empty. You want... Okay. Okay, you can start to hear it now. Okay, so the next line. So same rhythm with the first bit. It's a 0-2 hammer on the 4th string, and then 0 on the 3rd string. So, and you'll be happy to know that the next bit is the same as the first line there. So, okay, so the 3rd line it looks like this. It's a tiny bit different. It's the same rhythm. So we're on the 2nd string and it's 3-2-0 pull off. So that is like the 5-4-0, but here. So you got to put 2 fingers on, click the 3, pull off to the 2, and pull off to the 0. You might just need to work on that little technique to get that right. Okay, so then after you've done that, you go to the 3rd string and it's a 0-2 hammer on. So, and then when you've done that, you keep that 2 down, you put the 0 on the 5th string, and then you play that 2 again. So I'm going to show you that. So hammer on, 0-2 hammer on 3rd string, and then keep that down, play the 5th string, and then that. So, and then we have, well, I'm just going to show you the 4th line, the 4th line first before we look at the tab. So you keep your finger down there on that 2, and what I want you to do is with your 2nd finger, I want you to go on the 5th string and bend the 3rd fret, and then hit this 2 that you've got down here, still the 1st finger, and then bend the 4th on the same string and hit the 2, and then 3-0 on the 5th string. So, I'll show you what that looks like. There. So I've kept the 2 on from the previous riff here, so that just stays on. That's like the little drone throughout the riff. So I'm bending the 3rd, hitting that 2, then the 4th, hit that 2, and then 3-0, and you can keep that 2 on through that 3-0. So okay, hope you enjoy that. It's a nice technical little riff. At the end it changes key and it goes, yeah. So it jumps up a string. But if you're interested in that, if you've achieved this, then maybe I'll show you the next one next week. Don't want to give you too much information because I know how overwhelming it can get sometimes. So just let me know if you want to know the little bit at the end, and I'll go through that with you. Okay, thanks.